Hi guys, and welcome to Andy's Aspies. So I wanted to talk to you guys about friend challenges and how I've had some good friends in my life, but it's because of my parents. I didn't really make any on my own. And even with the friends that I had, they were more of a clique themselves. I was just kind of like the tag along. Especially when I got into high school, then I had one good friend that I made, and that was only because a friend shoved me into her and said, here, this is Marie, talk to her. And I'm like, oh, hi. And we became really, really, really good friends, like inseparable friends from that point forward. But otherwise, I wouldn't have known who she was. I'm not one to go out there and like introduce myself. The friends I have now today are because of my kids. If I didn't have kids, I wouldn't have known these friends either. And even still to this day, I don't know how to interact with them. I don't know how to talk with them. When they come over, I'm kind of like, shoot. I not very good with back and forth conversation. I tend to be about me, and I don't like that about myself, but I've learned that that is an Asperger thing. And I've always had that trouble hanging out, relating with friends, even in school. I've always wanted friends, but I don't know how to get friends. I don't know how to keep friends. And the friends I have now, yeah, I sometimes wonder if I shouldn't not have friends because I don't know how to interact and talk with them. I try to talk to them every other weekend at the latest. Which is the weekends I have off. But even when I talk to them, I'm kind of like, breathing on the phone. My children and friends have never been a good thing. Like, my eldest has had multiple friends, but they've only stayed around for a few months, and then they've moved on because it was just too much for them. My son and my daughter have really good friends, but again, that's because of my friends. It's their children that they're friends with, and they're starting school for the first time, like public school for the first time this year, so I don't know how that friendship is going to go as far as, even if they're going to be in the same school as their friends, because we're trying, but I don't know. And if they are, is that going to make it better or worse on their friendship? And if they're not, is that going to make it better or worse on their friendship? And are they going to make new friends? Or are they going to be like an outcast? Especially with a mom like me. So, I know as a teenager, her friends think that I'm a pretty cool mom, that, they wish they had a mom like me. But at the same time, I know I embarrass her at times, and it's not intentional. It's just I don't know what the social situation norm is. So someone first struggling with friendship, I would say, when you first introduce yourself, what I do when I first actually talk to someone about something, I would come up to them and I'd be like, hello, excuse me, hello, my name is Andy, and I wanted to just, introduce myself, introduce my children, whatever. And let's say that they were dancing, which is one of my favorite things to do. I was wondering if I could just come dance with you. See, I'm even like tripping over the words here to just talk about it. Like, oh my goodness, it is really, really hard. I don't know if anyone else has these problems. Please comment down below if you do, but I know for me it has been a tremendous struggle. Yeah, I don't get friendship. I struggle with relationships too, like with my husband. A good example, the other day, he told me to he asked me, because he was trying to figure out how to, words are escaping me again. He was asking me how how to send an email picture to someone on the phone. And so I said that, or he said, can he send more than one, or does he have to take one at a time? And I said, no, you have to take one, or I said, you have to do one at a time. And he took a picture and then he handed it to me to send it off, and I said, well, you can send more than one at a time, but you have to take one at a time. And he's like, well, I know I have to take one at a time, I'm not an idiot. And he said he was going to go out to the car, and I was like, wait, that's not going to help. Like, I don't get what you're saying. Like, what did I say wrong? And he said, well, you're treating me like I'm stupid. I'm like, no, that's not what I was trying to say. Like, I took it that you take one at a time, take a picture one at a time. And he's like, well, I know that, but normal, or most people would understand that you take one and send one at a time, because it was so specific on what he was saying, and I take things so gosh darn literal that I took it literally that he was taking one picture at a time, and that's what he was asking me. I didn't connect sending one picture at a time. And you know, when I turned around and said, well, I sorry, I didn't take it that way, he calmed down and he came back. But it's stuff like that. I take things very, 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 very literal, but I do not say them very, very, very literal, and it's really annoying to everybody else. And it's very hard with my daughter, who has autism, because if I tell her to go get her boots on or her shoes on, that's a better example. If I say go get your shoes on and I meant boots, she'll put her shoes on, and I'll be like, oh. You know, so that's where the friendship problem comes in a lot, is where they say one thing and we take it that way, but they meant something different, or they were like combining things. Another thing is when people give you looks. I do not understand body language. My daughter says my looks, my body language is like my own little language, and I don't do normal body language. When I'm at work, I'll ask people for a voucher check, and they'll look at me like, and I'm looking back at them like, sup? And then they'll go, and I'm like, what? Like, I know they're annoyed, but I don't know why. And then they'll be like, what's a voucher check? You know, and they get really, really angry, and I'm like, oh, I didn't understand, because you didn't ask in words, you just motioned something. When someone does like I know angry, but this can also be like a thinking, like sometimes they sit back and they're like, and I take it like they're angry at me. Or if someone's like this and they're just really stressed out, I take it as they're like having a meltdown and they're sad. You know, stuff like that. We don't get it. I don't get it. I shouldn't speak for everyone, but I don't get it. Oh my gosh, my hair is driving me crazy. I don't understand it. I don't. When people are laughing at things, and I apologize for my red face, it hurts. I'm very distracted, sorry. When people are laughing at things, like when you watch a TV show and the audience is laughing, I look at it like, what was so funny? I don't get jokes. A lot of jokes go right over my head. Ooh, and the English took us off. I don't understand them, and a lot of the times I find myself just laughing just because everyone else is. Yeah, that's funny. Whatever. Don't get it. Not at all. When we have a sign out in our city that says voted world's best smoothie, I still want to try that, but I don't understand how it could be voted the world's best smoothie if the whole world hasn't tasted it, or if they haven't tasted all of the smoothies in the world. How can it be voted the world's best smoothie if not all of the smoothies in the world were tasted and put to test against this? Like, it could be Wasa's best smoothie if they had tried all the smoothies in Wausau. It could be Raleigh's best smoothie if all the smoothies were tasted in Raleigh. It could be Wausau and Raleigh's best smoothies. You know, I mean, it could be Captain's best smoothie or Tampon's best smoothie. I just don't understand how it can be the world. And my husband has tried to explain this to me, but I don't get it. And it's like the Elf movie where he's like, the world's best cup of coffee. I'm like, yeah. It's not. I don't get it. I just believe, I don't understand it. I don't. It's just, I don't. You know, that's like when I try to join in conversations, 90% of the time the conversation does not match what they're talking about, although I think it does. And I look like a complete fool. So I'm one of those that, and I can't process what you're saying fast enough, so a lot of the times if I don't hear you by the second time, I'm just like, wow. Because wow can mean that's a really good price, or that's a really bad price, and it makes you look like you know what you're talking about. And I hate that about myself, but I don't like feeling like I don't know anything. And I know I'm wearing the same clothes that I did the last video. That's because I'm trying to double up on videos here, so I have a little bit of backup in case I come down sick. So yeah, you're gonna just have to deal with the same clothing for a few days, because yeah. We're doubling up on some videos and making some extras so that if I were to come down sick or come down busy, I have some backup to go on. And I know my 4th of July video is a day late. I apologize. I just didn't have enough time to get it out on 4th of July. So that video is out, but I do apologize. So yeah, I just wanted to come on and talk about friendship and how it is hard for us to read your facial expressions. And if, you know, a lot of the times we ask if you're upset with us because we don't know. We don't. Excuse me. I just woke up an hour ago, so I'm really tired. We don't know. We don't understand these expressions. So with someone who is autistic that you know is autistic, please don't use body language. I mean, I barely understand this means come. This means good job, bad job. Me, I know some. But I don't know all. And I don't understand if you're angry with me. Like, I ask my husband all the time, are you angry with me? Why? What'd I do? It's not that we're not trying. We just don't get it. We just don't understand it. It doesn't compute in our brain how that whole thing works. Like, if I'm upset with you, I'm going to tell you. If I'm happy with you, I'm going to tell you. And especially when you say, yes, no, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at you. And then, or I'm just tired, or I'm just stressed. And then it comes out even that same day, up to a few days later, that, you remember what you did? I was so mad about that. I'm like, what? You said you weren't mad. Just tell me. Just tell me. Another one is like when they like, you know, I always support you, you know, I always love you, and I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Just tell me what's wrong. Just spit it out, because you're driving me crazy driving around that bush. Just tell me what's going on. Good morning, baby. Yeah. I think that's all I got to say on that. Is I just wanted to point that out to you all, that this is where I come from, and I'm sure other aspies come from. So help us out. Help us out, please. Please help us out. Alright, I will see you guys on our next flight. Bye!